Hello everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. Rabbi Abe here with another video. Today we are talking about the month of Aquarius and the truth about the month of Aquarius according to the Kabbalah. Now, Kabbalah goes behind the scenes, okay? That's what it does. It gives us the more internal understanding, whereas conventional astrology would give us the external. And what I mean by that is the effect of a certain constellation, or any explanation to anything for that matter. What Kabbalah does is gives us the source understanding, what's going behind the scenes. And it's only when we understand what's going on behind the scenes when we can make changes, because you can't change from the level of effect. If you want to make any kind of changes, you need to go to the cause. And that's true in everything. You cannot change the accident before it happens. You have to go into the seed level of before the cause of that situation occurs. That's where you can change things. That's what Kabbalah discusses. So we're talking about the month of Aquarius today. It happens to be the new moon. But whether you're hearing this video after the new moon, it's okay, because this is the entire month. There is a certain spiritual force or cosmic force taking place which we can benefit from. So Aquarius is ruled by planet Saturn. Planet Saturn is nothing new for us, because planet Saturn also ruled Capricorn, what we just left. We just left behind Capricorn. Now, the planet Saturn is an interesting planet. I'm not going to go too deeply into the details, but it represents, well, let's call it the Sabbath, okay? In Hebrew, the planet Saturn is called Shabtai, Shabtai. And within the word Shabtai, Saturn, we have the word Shabbat, Sabbath. So what's the relationship between the planet Saturn and the Sabbath? Well, it's what I like to call the difference between religion and spirituality. And we often get the two confused, because religion doesn't necessarily have anything to do with spirituality. And spirituality certainly doesn't have anything to do necessarily with religion. Well, what is religion? Religion is a framework. And that's why in the month of Capricorn, we were heavy into frameworks. And religion is just that. Religion represents, for most people, a framework that you need to be in. So religion says, do this, don't do that. Right? That's religion. Of course, Kabbalah looks at it a bit differently, in the sense of we use rules, or the tools that were given to us by the Torah, the Bible, in order to achieve a freedom. Okay? Which seems like a paradox. How do you use the rules or limitations in order to achieve freedom? Well, very simply, if you look at it in the way of a game. Now, what's a game with no rules? It's chaos, it's confusion. If there are no rules to the game, whatever game it is, baseball, and everyone's just doing what they want, someone's hitting a ball and someone's throwing another ball because there's a rule. You can only use one ball in the game. No, I decide I want to use 12 different baseballs. Obviously, you can't have a game that way. All you have is chaos and confusion. So every game needs rules. The rules give every player freedom to express their abilities. I mean, what's the object of the game? Win, be the best you can be, and so on. And it's the same with the game of life. You see, the misnomer of freedom is being able to do whatever I want whenever I want to do it. Well, actually, that can be slavery, okay? Because I'm under the influence of me. I'm a slave to me. If I'm a slave to me, I'm certainly not free. That means I'm a slave to whatever my desires are at any given moment. That doesn't necessarily mean I will excel, succeed, because I don't agree to be bound by any rules or any frameworks. So that's very limiting, as strange as it might sound. So the month of Capricorn was learning how to use frameworks to achieve a freedom, okay? Understanding what the meaning of a framework is. Well, it's interesting that the planet Saturn also rules this month that we're just entering into, the month of Aquarius. Now, what's the month of Aquarius? So interesting, because if you know any Aquarians, you know, they may have, but not necessarily, they may have purple hair and green fingernails, okay? Which means generally the nature of Aquarius is to break paradigms, break structures, break the rules, rebel. And that's why, you know, spirituality is usually known more for Aquarians because, you know, like the age of Aquarius, spirituality, love, peace, understanding, all amazing, all good. But it's very difficult to understand when we don't know how to break out of frameworks. So, breaking out of limitations is what this month is about. That's the secret of this month, is understanding how to use the removal of limitation, okay? Because there is that energy available being provided for us through the conduits of this month. Now, what are the conduits this month? 2 letters. The letter Tzadik, and Bet. Now, this is according to Abraham the Patriarch. Abraham the Patriarch, in the first known writing of the Kabbalah, is called the Book of Formation. Now, the Book of Formation explains a lot about the constellations, but not how to be a slave to the constellations, meaning if the constellation dictates this, then you become a robot to it. You know, so if you're the Aquarian and you just want to break all the rules, and that's your life, is about breaking rules, you won't be successful, okay? Very difficult to be successful because you're merely operating under the influence of the constellation. So if I allow myself to be a slave to the constellation, whichever constellation belongs to me, again, because, you know, every individual, we're born under a constellation that influences us. Now, every month, you know, also the particular month influences all of us. That's why we're having this discussion, right? But if you're a slave to it, and that's what Abraham the Patriarch wrote about to a large part, and many very deep secrets, very difficult to understand in this very abstruse work. But again, one of the things that he did explain is how we can overcome the influence of the constellations to use them to our benefit rather than to be a slave to them. Now that is called Masala. Now Masala means above Mazal. Above Mazal. Mazal means my sign, my constellation, nature. Okay? We don't want that. Nature is a wonderful thing, but if nature dictates something negative, we want to be above it. And this is back to the discussion of Jacob when he had a fight with an angel, right? The angel of his brother Esau, the angel of death, and the angel said, well, what's your name? Jacob said, Jacob. The angel says, no, because you fought with the divine and you have conquered, meaning you have overcome the influence, your name is Israel. So Israel is a code word, because we know Jacob's name didn't stay Israel. It represents a level of consciousness which is above nature, above the zodiac, above the mazal, above constellation, that is called Masala. Remember the word. Masala means above it, above nature, connected to the force of good. And so therefore, that's what Israel means. A true Israelite is someone who is working to achieve to go above nature, that they want that, they desire that, and they can do that. We can, if we have the opportunity, we want to reach that space. And the reason why we're discussing this is to use those tools. And that's what the Kabbalah explains, gives us tools and consciousness to overcome the nature of difficulty, and whatever we may be a slave to. Now, again, one of the things is, as we're discussing for this month, we are slaves to frameworks. Now, whatever that means. Now, we have many opportunities to break slavery. The month of Aries, where we have the Passover, again, another opportunity, a cosmic opportunity to affect the entire year, to break out of slavery. But we must remember that slavery is only one thing. Slavery of the consciousness. Slavery of that we can't break out of a framework. Slavery to the physical world. I mean, things dictate, there's a table, there's a wall over here, and I can't walk through it. So who's in charge? The wall? God forbid, when a person is ill, who's in charge right now? Well, it looks like the illness is in charge, because they can't just say, get away, go out, go away, I don't want you. Well, maybe it's not so cut and dry, you see? And that's what it means to break the limitations, breaking mental limitations, emotional frameworks. We should never say, well, this is the way I am. I'm a this. And this is how I am. This is how I operate. Why? Why would you say that? Don't shut yourself down from the possibilities. So, here's what we need to do this month. Here's the way we need to think. We need to think in the way of, wait a second, I can break this paradigm. This is limiting me right now. The way I handle criticism is limiting me. Wait a second. I can break this paradigm. I can change the way I handle criticism. I don't have to react and become upset, angry, hurt. I can break the paradigm. Oh, I'm shy. I'm a shy person. My marketing director says I need to make videos, but I'm shy. I can break this paradigm. I can break out of this slavery. I can go beyond limitations. I can break it. So I don't have to have green hair and blue fingernails, or was it blue hair and green fingernails? Well, it really doesn't matter. I don't have to go that far to break limitations, to break the standard. Because doing it just for the sake of, there's a beautiful word in Hebrew, dafka. Dafka means just to spite the system, I'm going to break the rules. No, I won't get far that way. I might even get myself in trouble just for the sake of what? Breaking the rules? No, I want to break my rules when it's productive and creative and good for others. I want to be able to break my own personal limitations, my personal paradigm. This month is an excellent month to tap into that energy of removing the limitations from my life that hold me back, that keep me where I am, that make me think, this is me, and this is the way I have to be because this is my framework. No. If you desire to be different, you can be. And this month, of Aquarius is an excellent opportunity for all of us to tap in to the energy to be able to break the limitations that we need to break to be more successful, to be happier, maybe to remove pain or difficulties that we may be experiencing. Sometimes it's really dependent on us breaking free of those limitations which are mental, sometimes physical, like, I really thought to go to the gym, but no, this month, do it. Decide. Because again, it's an excellent month to tap into the energy of breaking the frame. And remember, we can use these tools, the tools of the letters, contemplate on them, meditate on them. Again, removing the limitations of the planet Saturn and tapping into the pure energy of the month of Aquarius, again, that can assist us to break the limitations that we have and become more free. After all, freedom. But the real freedom is the name of the game. Be blessed, guys. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed so you are notified whenever I put up a new video, and click the little bell icon. Be blessed, and I will see you very soon on the next video. All the best.